Well, good
Hello.
morning, everybody.
Hi.
What the hell, Steve?
Sorry.
What?
What did you do?
I'm a professional.
What did you do?
What happened?
I didn't mute the tab.
Oh. Oh, I do that all the time. Don't worry about it.
Good one, Speed. Good one, Speed. Well,
Echo,
what can I
echo.
say? Guys, 10th episode. Welcome to the Side Note fam as well. And also, hello, good morning, and welcome to YouTube.
10.
10 episodes. Boys, what can I say?
10
It's been an
blurry
awesome
fingers.
journey.
Yeah, it's 10.
I can
What
count
a
that on
journey.
my hands. 10.
So firstly,
Yeah.
thank you to Speed and Yakes for 10 episodes. It's been quite the journey, with some interesting gossip going around, which is actually kind of cool.
Just a little
So from my standpoint, boys, I'm really enjoying it.
Mhm.
I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from the community as well. No one's really given us any sort of negatives. So how are you guys feeling about 10th episode?
I'm feeling good.
You digging it?
it's
Yeah.
yeah, not many shows make it past like 3 or 4 episodes before they collapse and fall flat on their face. So I think we've done pretty well. Although I think we had a pretty good idea that it would be relatively sustainable, but still.
Yeah.
It's
It's definitely been hasn't really been challenging to find content for the show, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
just as we work through different programs and adjust things as we go.
Well,
Um,
the advantage of the last couple of months is the excessive amounts of drama within streaming platform communities. So there is
work to our
it
advantage.
is a limitless source of news and drama and things to talk about.
There's something that I want to maybe touch on this episode as well, and get your guys' feedback while we are live. Well, I know we were doing special guests probably for the last half an hour of the shows.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking that maybe we open it up and actually bring a special guest in at the start of the shows and also get their input into current situations as well, not just promote their channel. What do you guys think?
I like that.
I'm up for anything.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll remember that next weekend, Speed. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, if we potentially get guests who just want to come on and also share their views on our topics, I mean, what do you think? Are we down for that?
Absolutely.
I am down to have all of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So
We
there you
definitely
go,
need
guys.
more people in.
So again, there you go. So if you guys do want to come and join the show, want to share your opinions and join the conversations on current topics that we touch on, please feel free. Grab the Discord link down the bottom there. Come and join in, and yeah, let's enjoy it as a big community. Nobody wants my opinions. Yeah, right, Tech.
That's a lie. We will happily take everybody's opinions.
Just remember though, if you do want to be on the show, you will go to YouTube. So keep that in mind.
YouTube.com/GX87 is where the videos will be.
Shameless plug right there.
It's where the videos will be. It's not like I'm like, hey, go check out all the fun streams I uploaded in the past week. It's not like I'm like that, even though I just did that now. But you know, that's where the streams are at.
No, absolutely, Deceptus. We'd love to have you on the show, my dude.
Yeah,
Definitely share the joys.
We'd love to get
86.
86.
It's 87, man.
I mean, it would be a great effort if we could get Clone on the show one day. I think that would be.
I'm working the avenues. I'm working the avenues. Just give me time.
Clone,
give me time.
Clone is
I'm
a
working
busy
on it.
man right now. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, but yeah,
He's
give me
always
time.
busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll definitely get some. We'll definitely get some guests on the show because I think branching them back into the show as a main feed and having their input as well would be a big push in the right direction. So
Yes. Absolutely.
So anyway, kicking the 10th episode off, we're going to throw it to Speed because I know he has got a bumper lineup of gossip and news this week. So again, coming from last week, sorry we missed that, but you know, IRL did get in the way of that. But this week, we're going to catch up on some of that and some new news. So, Speed, what have
I
you
mean,
got, man?
2 weeks to catch up on. A lot, honestly, there was a lot in the first week, not so much in the second week. So it sort of evens
Balances out.
itself out.
Pretty good.
But as always, let's kick off with some Twitch news.
Oh, yay.
Bans. That is like the key word at the moment is bans. As we all know, the major Twitch leak happened a couple of weeks ago, and some files were found in that leak of a do not ban list,
Oh,
which
wow.
triggered some controversy.
Really?
Obviously,
Controversy?
Wow.
No, come on.
no, because there
Wait,
was
you
a
mean
list
there's
of
creators that
names.
can just blatantly violate the terms of service and not get banned? What? What?
That doesn't happen. Really?
Yeah. No, but there were a lot of names on this list of people who, if they did get into trouble, that trouble was to be dismissed immediately
Yeah,
and
right.
sort of re-diverted.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there is, interestingly enough, though, there are no higher names on the list. There's sort of like, 3/4 of the way up on the popularity list. So that's interesting. But it does show that Twitch is playing favoritism to secure profits.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
obviously. Again,
that's
dollars over community. I
Yep.
mean,
it, it's Twitch's MO, really.
you're just
Um,
you're just a number.
yeah. So the list was found buried within a sequence of code and mentioned that notable streamers such as Tyler One, Rice Gum, DJ Wheat, and many others should never be banned from the site. Rather than being banned, the list mentioned that the streamers should have their violations escalated to certain people within the company.
What do they got? Like a little protector or a
That,
little guardian or something in the system that says,
base,
oh,
yeah.
shit, quick,
The
don't
worst
do
part
that
is a
again.
lot of those
It,
names you listed off are just super cringe. They're
it,
super cringe.
but
You're
but
right.
the fact is that there are people on a list of do not ban.
Yeah.
So they're obviously getting escalated to a certain sector of Twitch that handles these
I'm pretty
things.
sure Rice Scrum was
It's
involved in that loot
kind of
box
like the
scandal
Area
from a couple years
51
ago.
of Twitch. Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Rice Gum was the one of the people that like organized that.
Yeah.
Nieces and
Um,
nephews of Jeff Bezos.
but it is like this secret sector within Twitch where you're
Yeah.
essentially just untouchable. And
But again, that's just
that's
breeding the
yeah,
segregation, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
it just
Um,
keeps the segregation happening and tearing it more apart rather than making
yeah.
it inclusive.
It's also unknown how old that list is too. If I had to take a wild stab in the dark, I don't think it really matters how old that list is.
The fact that
They're
it
just gonna,
It
exists in the
shouldn't
first
matter.
place.
yeah, they're just
Exactly.
gonna keep adding names to it regardless. You know, people who are bringing in a decent profit margin for Twitch are just going to stay on that list.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
That's just how it is. But considering that list, Twitch does and will have opportunities to completely cut ties with streamers if need be, as we have seen in the past in regards to like Doctor Disrespect and that. Like, it doesn't matter how popular you are.
Once you're
If
no
it
longer
comes to it, they
profitable.
will. Yeah, it will. Yeah, I think it's for the higher ups, they have more of an influence on the public. So the more they stir the pot, the worse it looks for Twitch. So
Yeah.
that's probably why they're not on a do not ban list. They're at their own sort of responsibility
Yeah.
there. That's what makes sense to me.
I'm wondering if that do not ban list is more of the actual maybe staff that are actually on streaming as well that can't be banned. So,
But that's just favoritism. That you can't.
that's exactly right. You're just playing,
everyone should be treated equally. on the
Your staff
platform.
should be the ones enforcing the rules and living by the rules, not
That,
breaking it and pushing the boundaries to another level.
yeah,
So yeah,
and
it's
This is
interesting,
why
isn't it?
Glimesh is a great platform, because everyone is treated
like
fairly and equally.
every
That's right.
yeah, everyone should be held accountable to the same rules
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
without favoritism. So
You
like
sign up for the rules
you
when
know
you sign into the platform.
if
You live by
let's
the
say
rules.
Parko streamed, right, and he fucked up. He fucked up big time. He would be under the same rules and
Yep.
regulations as the rest
Hmm.
of us.
Oh,
So
100%.
if it meant that he got banned off the platform, that's it. Like
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
and that's how it should be. There
The,
shouldn't
the
be any
rules are
favoritism.
rules. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
But a couple of couple of streamers have been banned in recent weeks. Uh, a streamer by the name of Squid Game, who is a content creator of the Yogscast,
That's that
uh,
is great.
had her Instagram account banned due to the similarities in the name due to the Netflix show
It is a
Squid Game.
great show, by the way.
Yeah. Before being banned, the streamer claims that she was being bombarded with messages from fans of the show. After being harassed and mass reported by viewers, she no longer has access to her account and has been banned from the platform. She has appealed the ban, but is yet to hear a response.
So
Uh,
here's the
that's
thing on
just
that.
unfortunate name choice. I mean, she didn't choose that. Like, obviously she chose that name, but it was well before the show.
Right.
So
Exactly. So
that's just
that's
unfortunate.
what I was going to say. Like, if as I guess in that situation, if that's your name, I mean, if she'd have gone and copyrighted it, the problem is though that copyright doesn't then
Yeah,
wash
but
in Korea where the show's made. So again, like you can't really do that. And
yeah, but
technically, I don't think
copyrights are weird though.
it is. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
really
So,
awkward the
so
way it
there's
works. But
different sectors for copyright. So you could have copyright for a name for something, but you could still use that name for something else
yeah, it's exactly
that
right.
has no relation to what it originally was.
But the
So
thing is, like, why wouldn't the directors, producers, or whatever of the show actually look at like options and see if there is anyone with that name anywhere around to make sure they don't cover that, or at least reach out
I,
and say, "Hey, listen,
well,
you know,
there was was I think it was an email address or a phone number that appeared in the show. I think it was a phone number, and that phone number was actually a real phone number, someone's phone number, and
oh wow,
they just, yeah. So naturally, everyone in the show was just ringing up this
Well, because everyone wants to
phone number,
participate in the Squid
and
Game.
right, and yeah, and the creators of Squid Game have had to edit that out, and will be changing it in the future and making sure that no numbers or whatnot
can I just go on record and say
are
I
revealed.
still haven't watched an episode of it?
Oh, you should.
I haven't either. I am aware of the story goes,
I
but I
feel
will be
lucky I
watching it.
watched the show before it even exploded with popularity, because it just like showed up like the day it was uploaded. I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know, Squid Game? And I just watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And I was like
But Yang's
telling
probably
everybody, like, you gotta watch Squid Game, you gotta watch Squid Game. And then it was like a week later, like everyone's like, have you seen Squid Game? I'm like, yeah, I saw it last week.
Yanks was like, oh, it must be they trained squids to play volleyball or something under the water.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, also a Twitch streaming duo called The Surfs has also been banned after one of the creators allegedly shared personal information regarding the data leak. They received a 30-day ban. It's just pretty simple, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's a hot topic, the data leak, but don't do it on stream. Don't.
Yeah, don't.
yeah, I mean, use common sense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just can't do that shit. That's, you
Yeah.
sign the agreement when you become a streamer on the platform. You don't leak personal information, whether it be company or not. You just don't do it.
Yeah, it's just common sense. FaZe Kaylee has also been banned, uh, but it's unknown as to why she was banned.
Phase up.
She came out on social media and says that all she does is play Call of Duty Warzone and wears a hoodie, So there was no sort of violations in like clothing, which is
Wasn't
usually
that
the case.
wasn't she pinned for sexually suggestive content or something? Is that the one
No,
that was?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay. I'm
Fine.
pretty sure I read up on
And
that, Katie. It was the report she got back was it was sexually suggestive. I'm like, okay.
yeah,
Yep.
but Kaylee's ban only lasted for 3 days before it was reverted by Twitch. Her cause is still unknown as to why she was banned,
Okay.
which is interesting. Yeah, like
Um,
if you have a look at her, she's just like this down to earth chick, like hoodie, and I believe that the most skin that she ever showed was her collarbone when she showed a tattoo, and that was it.
do we think these
So
bans are? Do we think this is just like again? I know we've touched on this like hate raids and shit like that, but do we think it's coming from like mass reports on the channel?
It's
People,
possible. I
and
know.
absolutely
they're
yes.
I
not actually
know.
looking into it; they're just auto banning.
Yeah.
Like, do we
Yeah.
think that is possibly the case?
I have a feeling it is.
Yeah.
I know in WoW that was an issue for a while where people would just mass report like their streamers and stuff, and then they would get like their forced name change or something like that. So because it is an automated process that it registers so many ticks for the same person, and it's like, oh, we'll shut it down and we'll investigate it. And it's possible that could have been the situation.
I almost guarantee that that's what the situation was. I'd say that's the system that Twitch doesn't have in place, where if they get so many reports, it will just automatically trigger into an instant ban before it gets manually reviewed. Um, it Live Sticks, another streamer on Twitch, has been hit with an indefinite ban for multiple violations of terms of service. This is the one that you were just talking about, Lord. She claimed that she didn't understand why she was banned, but had people on Twitter pointing out that was most likely because of her clothing choices, uh, like ultra small shorts and revealing clothing.
But
To
I
be
read on
completely
that.
oblivious to that, like,
I read on that later though that Twitch actually came back and said that her actual attire didn't breach the terms of service, but yet they still didn't
so
explain why they banned her. It's just like it didn't actually breach because
yeah,
everything was technically covered by their terms of service. And
yeah,
it's the same with Glimesh. Like obviously, the nipple was covered, the other
mm,
regions were covered, so she was technically fine to be wearing what she was.
yeah.
So again,
So
here comes that mass reporting bullshit.
yeah, so obviously there's a major problem with false bans.
Yeah,
Uh, People being banned mainly out of, I'm guessing, hate. Would
yeah,
be the main thing is that I don't like you, I don't like your content, I'm reporting you, and I'm just going to pick a reason.
yeah. I
Sexually
think that's
suggested
what. Yeah,
content, that'll do.
yeah,
Yeah,
because that's probably going to be the easiest to you
yeah,
know for Twitch to alarm to and go, oh yeah, because if you put in like hate speech or something like that, they're going to potentially take longer to
yeah,
investigate it because they've got to go through the VOD and then everything like that. So
yeah. I mean, but
potentially.
all of these bans require manual, overviews anyway. But be hit with an indefinite ban, that's obviously had like some some oversight onto it, and that's been a choice that's been made by Twitch. So
Hmm.
I don't think I don't believe anything that
I think
Lipsticks
I
has
did
to
see
say.
something on
Uh,
Twitter about her being unbanned 3 days later as well. I think she's back
uh,
on the platform.
Lipsticks. Oh, she's probably
Yeah.
part of that do not ban list.
I
Um,
was gonna say she probably. No, I think
yeah,
I did see something on Twitter about her being back on the platform a few days later. So the indefinite
right.
ban did get lifted, but again, it
Yeah.
just shows that there's
Uh,
a big
uh,
problem
but
there.
I
Yeah.
think there's always been a problem. Like I've
Yeah,
heard for years about people being banned about the dumbest shit. So that's why, like, you'll always probably hear me having a joke about it. Chicks can prance around in bikinis on Twitch and not get banned. Yet a guy wears a sleeveless shirt,
and
banned.
get
Like
slapped. Yeah,
what? It's like, how does that work?
it's because you don't
Yeah.
you don't happen to fill the shirt enough.
Look, I'm trying. Okay, I'm doing my best. I'm getting there.
Uh,
But yeah, there's obviously a major problem that Twitch needs to look into, whether it requires them to hire more staff and ease up on the auto banning.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's got to
whatever.
be some sort of human intervention there to stop those,
Yeah.
like those mass reports triggering a
Mhm.
ban.
But onto legal action. Uh, uh, Philadelphia is threatening Twitch with legal action after saying that his account was hacked and his payout information was changed due to the information leak. Twitch has
I,
acknowledged this, but has stated that the payout went to the designated location and will continue to pay to the account attached, as there is nothing they can do after the payment has been cleared.
I did hear about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
payments basically stolen. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
there
Yeah.
there have now been several claims come forward regarding the information leak, with users stating that their PayPal information has been hacked and their Twitch payouts have been stolen. Uh, it's almost suspect, isn't it? I almost I almost want to go down the route of this is just a money grab. It's like, oh, you've sent the money to this account, but that account's no longer mine. It's been hacked. You
Mm.
need to repay that money to me, like almost
Yeah,
as
so
if,
they double dip on it.
yeah,
Double dipping,
yeah,
yeah.
the double dipping, yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like that's what's going on. It might not be, but I mean, again, according to Twitch, there was no uh,
financials leaked.
there was no vulnerable data uh, in that sort of regards in
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
data lake. So, you know,
I don't know how you can say there's no vulnerable data. I mean, clearly there's
yeah, there
you know
is some vulnerable, but we're
there's a
talking
lot
Yeah.
about
of data.
PayPal information, and what PayPal is fucking 2FA. So, come on. Um, yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. I think it's all a little bit sus, and
There's a little bit of
I don't trust
controversy on it. I don't think
any
it's
of it.
as clean as what they're making it out to be, but
No.
I will. On the same note, I wouldn't even be surprised that if the data that was uh, hacked into, that those people didn't necessarily just keep some of the data for their own personal use and getting into some of those
Oh, absolutely.
bigger streamers and saying, hey, I'm going to divert your money. So, haha,
But it's
you
not
know,
it's not the biggest streamers
biggest.
that are
No,
getting hacked.
it's the mid range
It's
ones
it's the mid range and smaller streamers. Like, oh, my stuff's been hacked. Why would anyone hack a smaller streamer's account details?
because it wouldn't
Why
be
would
as
anyone
obvious.
do that?
Because I
But
mean,
yeah,
if you're paying Ninja
I
$1 million
get
a
that.
month
But
and you hack his account, I mean, that's going to be pretty
oh,
obvious.
but
Yeah.
all you gotta do is you only gotta do it once. You only gotta do it once and get one
No,
payout.
but you see, what they're saying though is the account that's being paid to is being changed. So if you can get
Well,
into the
no,
Twitch system, you can
it's
change the payout, send
so
out
the
like destination.
location is correct. This is what Twitch is saying. The account is correct according to them. So that hasn't changed. So
Right.
the money is going to the correct account. But these streamers are saying that their account has been hacked and they're not receiving their payouts. So
Mm, I mean, it
yeah.
depends. I mean, whether Twitch can look back over previous payouts, which I'm sure they can.
Well, they can and they have, but as they've stated, once the payout is sent and it's cleared by the banks, that's it.
The
It's
the
out
only
of
thing
their
I could think
control.
of is they put in a junction on their on the in the when they've hacked the data, they've put in some sort of feeder so when it still registers in Twitch as the right account, but once it gets paid out, it diverts from that point.
I feel like that
It's a
would be
So
lot
it
of
shows
effort
way
for a
Twitch.
that would
smaller
be
streamer,
way
though.
too much work.
No, not. I mean, if they've gone in and hacked the entire Twitch accounts and shit like that, it's not gonna be hard for them to do.
But that seems like a lot of work for a smaller payout. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
again,
you can
like,
get
why wouldn't you do that to a more popular name? All you got to do is
because it would be
divert
obvious.
one payout, one
Yeah, but it's
payout here and
obvious.
there.
But if you
well,
do it on, say,
it's
5 or
obvious.
6 small
It's going to
streamers,
be
you get
obvious
multiple then.
anyway.
Maybe.
I don't see the point. I think like if they're going to do it, I mean, if they're doing smaller streamers, it's obviously some sort of long play, which is very risky when it comes to like diverting
Oh,
uh,
yeah, I'm not
money.
disagreeing that it could be a long play,
Uh,
but, I mean, if they've got the time to do the hacking anyway, if they've got the right tools, it takes them 3 seconds to put something there to divert it. It's not hard.
yeah,
Like,
I
it's
understand that, but if they're going for small gains constantly, it's riskier to do that in the long term than it is to just go, I'll just take your X payout
it
out
also
of
doesn't
this big
stand out.
streamers.
It doesn't stand out as much too. Like, in the account itself, it doesn't show this big lump sum coming in one hit. It
But
shows little
but that
feeds
doesn't
once a
but that
month.
doesn't matter because Twitch sends the money out. Like they're going to send the money out regardless. Like the payment gets cleared. That's it. It's out of Twitch's hands.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a small payout or a big payout. Once it's gone, it's gone.
But in the PayPal account, it would be easier to register a massive big payment than multiple little payments. Like, it's a little trickle into
Yeah.
the tank,
No,
not a giant top up. It'd be
I get that, but
a
But
subtle thing.
here's the thing: like, if the Twitch account in question was leaked in the data breach, you can't. I don't think you can change the payment information without the 2FA. So I don't know
like,
how a hacker
how do
would
I'm
get
you?
in
not
there and
sure.
change the
The thing
payment
is, like, how do
information.
you divert funds from a PayPal account without it being essentially traced?
And if even if they
For
drained
starters.
it from the PayPal account, like PayPal would have a record that says, "Hey, this money was sent here." Like PayPal tracks all that stuff, so
Well, yeah, so it's not Twitch's problem. Like
it's
No,
if
no,
the
not.
payment
it's not a
goes
Twitch
out and it
problem.
gets
No,
cleared, Twitch is not at fault.
no,
It's
no, no, no.
PayPal that's at fault if
Yeah.
they find out that it was, if the money went into their account and then got diverted out.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's not a Twitch issue,
So
but
no, so
they're just
this
coming at
this
Twitch because it
is
was data that leaked from Twitch. So, potentially it's, you
I
know,
think it's just a big ploy. Claim that they're going to bring legal action into it to essentially get, to double dip, as
the
we say.
free money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a big bluff.
Oh, it could very well
That's
Yeah.
be.
all I
Exactly.
think it is. But anyway, so that I'm sure we'll cover more on that next week. Anyway,
Yeah,
There's
that'll be
bound to be
an
more news on that.
ongoing news story we'll
Yeah.
have to keep an eye on.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
But in the last of Twitch news, Twitch is now testing some new features. They're testing Rewind the Stream, Rewind Me, and Watch Trailer. So Rewind the Stream, I think, is very interesting. Being able to sort of buffer back through the stream that's been. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Obviously, they've got the storage to do so.
Yeah.
But I
My
do
my
wonder
only
if there's like a restriction to that.
my only
You
fear with
have to
that
have
though
more
is
than 10 users.
how much delay is that going to now introduce? Because they're going to have to, you're going to have to stream. They're going to have to store that. Then they're going to have to send it. So I'm wondering if it's going to introduce more delay,
I
so that
don't
you can
think it
then
will
rewind
introduce-
it back in the system. Because then you're
I don't
technically
think
not
it'll be
live
that much of a
streaming.
delay. I don't think it
Or
will add that much. Like, yes, obviously it's creating a buffer, but it's not just creating like a 30-second buffer or something so you can like quickly rewind. Unless that's what it is. I don't know. They haven't really stated exactly what
yeah.
that feature is. But I if I had to guess, their intention is that you'll be able to rewind quite a fair way back through the stream.
But then, I
Uh,
mean, at that
But
point, aren't you
that's a
then taking the
storage
VOD?
issue at that stage.
But aren't you then taking the VODs out of play at that point? Like, if you can
Well,
rewind the
no.
live stream?
Look, again, I don't know the details around the
Yeah, no,
rewind the
no.
stream feature.
But just
Um,
from a perspective thinking about it, like, wouldn't it
if
just
if they're
create
doing it
more
smart,
drama?
if they're doing it smart, they would only rewind, a certain time
5
frame.
minutes sort of thing.
Like, yeah, like 5-10 minutes, like that'd be
Yeah.
it. Like that would be the buffer. Or otherwise, you could imagine the storage that you
Oh,
would need for everyone's stream if they've got, full stream rewinding on. It would,
yeah, that'd be
storage would skyrocket. But if you've only got to store like 5-10 minutes of footage, that's constantly being written on that little sector. That's way
yeah,
more efficient.
potentially.
Yeah. The remind me feature, I've got no idea what the hell that is. It's probably just a reminder that you're going to be streaming at some stage. I mean,
No idea.
isn't
I
that
haven't
what
heard anything
social
on that
media
one.
is for?
I haven't
uh,
heard anything on that, to be honest.
and the watch trailer feature. So basically, you don't have to go to their profile to watch their channel trailer. You can just it'll just be a button, watch trailer, straight on their channel. I mean,
Nah.
channel trailers.
Is it really a necessary feature?
Apparently, yes. Security, no. Watch trailer, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Right. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't upgrade your security, but yeah, give us a watch trailer button. Yeah,
yeah,
that's handy.
priorities. So they've also released a first-time chatter highlight feature. So if
Oh God.
uh, so if a streamer, obviously you're a streamer, you're streaming, you have a first-time chatter pop up in the chat. They say whatever it is they're saying. It will say above it. This is a first time chatter, and it'll sort of like semi highlight the whole message so you can distinguish that they are a first time chatter.
Why though?
So does that
Here's a
then
better
mean you
idea:
can
pay
create
attention to your
segregation?
damn chat and know who's there.
Yeah.
It,
I
it's
mean,
that simple.
I'm thinking about it from the perspective of somebody that, likes to lurk on streams and not always like jump in and say something like right away. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to like get that perspective because I know there are people that, prefer to lurk in streams and don't necessarily want to chat. And the moment they're like, "Hey, that was really cool," or "Good job on that," and then it's just like, "Bam, plastered, highlighted, look at me," and it's just like, "Well, I don't want that. I just want to sit here and
Yeah.
enjoy the content."
But aren't
And
you creating like segregation in your own community at that point?
Well,
Because I mean, like you
on.
said, Jakes, if you're going to lurk, and you might have been lurking there for 3 months, you might like the guy's
Yeah.
content, but you just want to sit and chill and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then you comment, and he goes, "Oh, great, we got a fucking newbie here." Like again, he doesn't know
Yeah.
I mean,
that you've been there for
like
3 months.
that viewer
You're
could
gonna
have some sort of social anxiety. That's
Yeah,
why they haven't
absolutely.
put anything in chat, and they just they've worked up the courage to be like, "Hey, I've been watching you for a long time. I think your content's great," and then they're just going to be pinged automatically by the streamer, be like,
First-time
"Oh,
chatter.
first time
It's
chatter."
what it's
like,
going
that's
to
gonna bring
do.
more attention to it.
It's
Like,
it's
yeah.
going
Yeah.
to further spread the divide between lurkers in a stream and chatters in the stream. And it's going to eliminate that pressure for people that normally lurk to cross over into chatting with the stream. Because they're
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
know, hey, the first time I do this, it's going to be bright flashy lights like, hey, look at me. Instead of just, hey, let me just ease into this and say hi and start chatting with the streamer.
Yeah,
I think it's a terrible idea. It's a horrible, horrible
I
idea.
don't like
I think every streamer needs to divert away from, you know, highlighting new people.
Yes.
You'd be like, hi, welcome you, brand new.
All you have to do is
don't do that.
pay attention to your chat.
Well, yeah, pay attention to your chat for starters.
It's
like if you're paying
not-
attention to your chat more often, you know who's new.
Mm-hmm.
But treat everyone as
same.
if they've always been there.
Yeah,
100%.
That's it. There's
Totally.
no
100%.
I know for
Yeah,
me, every
that's
time
it.
I'm streaming and I see somebody, whether they're new or someone that frequents my channel, I say, "Hey, so and so, how are you doing? Hope you're enjoying the stream so far." It's the same response for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
mean,
You just
whether they're
make
new
people feel
to chat or
welcome.
not, I mean, why should they be treated any differently?
No,
They're
they
obviously
shouldn't
on
be.
your channel for a reason.
Absolutely,
So
they
treat them
shouldn't be.
exactly the same as you treat, like tech.
I
He
think
hasn't been around the side note thing, but he's still getting treated the same way as everybody else. It's not like a special thing to say,
I
oh,
think
yeah,
the
hey.
idea. I think the idea is to hype up the streamer. Be like, oh, look at all these new people showing up in my stream. Like, I think that's mainly
Okay. But
what
then how many people are going to go and create bot accounts just to come in and go, oh, first time chatter, and then create these stupid
like
freaking
everyone.
algorithms? Yeah,
Like
exactly.
those people who follow just to see their name pop up on
Yeah,
the
exactly.
screen.
Follow, unfollow,
Like
follow,
it's
unfollow. Yeah.
those people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly what it's going to bring. It's going to bring out more of the immaturity on the platform that doesn't need it right now. They need maturity. They need to tighten things down, not make it more segregated.
Yeah. We just need to let people be who they are and just
Yeah.
again just treat them as if
Like
they've always
you,
been.
you should be
So,
finding ways to remove the pressure from lurking to chatting,
Yeah,
not increasing the
exactly.
pressure.
yeah. Like yeah, if you want to
Again,
lurk, go for it.
like,
Mhm.
I
there's
mean,
nothing wrong
let's
with
be
it.
honest though, the Twitch algorithm doesn't cater for lurkers.
No, it doesn't.
No, the Twitch algorithm caters for profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying by that is, like, okay, so Glimesh here, like we use 7 people in the channel right now, and we could have, 4 lurking, 5 lurking,
Yeah.
and 2 chatting. It wouldn't really matter. But on Twitch, if you're lurking for too long and don't say anything, you basically become a non-existent number.
Hmm.
Yes.
So they don't cater to lurkers. And you've got to leave a certain volume on your volume bar so you don't go into lurk mode. But then that doesn't help anyway, because if you don't say anything for 5 or 6 minutes, you drop out as a number. So then you become useless. Even though you've got their channel there,
Yeah.
you're just a useless, it's another
It's
feed.
it's
I mean,
active viewers. That's
lurk
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
lurkers are just as important as the people chatting in your
Oh,
stream.
fuck, I know they are.
Because those are people
100%.
that come to your stream, even if they're not chatting, they're there to consume your content, to enjoy what you're putting out as a content creator.
Well,
Or even
not even
just
just
to
that. They're
support.
just there to
Yeah.
they're to
Support.
you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, look, I'm going to bed. Look, channel's up. Hopefully, someone sees it. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and they go to bed. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the amount of times on Mixer that I had 98% lurkers and 5% people.
Yeah.
Actually doing something, and then those other 5 would just float in and out and just post or do whatever. It just
happens
doesn't.
now.
Lurkers are the unsung heroes of streams, and Twitch
Absolutely.
is just phasing them out. They're pushing them out the door.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I hate it. I
Lurkers
really
are
hate
just like it's the unhighlighted support
it.
that the
Kaza,
streamer needs.
professional lurker.
Streamers need lurkers because
Yeah.
lurkers are the backbone. They support the channel regardless.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
they're the people who always
And
come
the
back,
lurkers-
always have the tab open. It's
And the lurkers who host, hey, I'm just gonna drop your host, but I'm going to bed. Because
Yeah.
they're putting that to their community. Then
yeah,
they're sharing it to their channel. So people come on and go, oh, side note's not live, but hey, they're hosting up. Yakes87. What's he doing? Oh, he's playing this. Oh shit. Okay. So
Yeah.
now all the side note people are now seeing that. So again, it bounces around. So, I don't see why Twitch still can't get this through their head that, lurkers are part of your stream. They're
because
part
they
of your community. They have to be.
Absolutely.
community. This is Twitch we're talking about. They don't care about community.
Okay, so
They
if we
care-
told
they
Twitch
care
that
about
lurkers
hot
made the
tub
money,
meta and profit.
if we told Twitch that lurkers made the money, would they actually encourage lurkers more?
No, because they would look at the numbers and be like, okay, so lurkers do, give us money, but it's like this small percentage over here. But it's like all these other people
You know
are
what?
outdoing the
Yeah,
money
it-
that lurkers are making.
it'd be like the ad revenue. If you had a channel of 100 lurkers and you played an ad, you'd get that 100 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Hello, Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm still showing that ad to 100 people. They're still watching
Yeah.
it.
That's why they show ads first. So everyone gets copped with that.
Wow. We've
Um,
got our caps in chat to make sure they get noticed.
Oh, bloody hell, 10. Yeah, so, so that's all the Twitch news anyway.
First time shatter.
Unfortunately, we don't have any Glimesh news.
Chatter.
Unfortunately, we don't have any Glimesh news because the Glimesh team meeting has yet to happen. I'd say it's just going to be a double hit at the start of next month. if I had to take a wild stab in the dark, which is fine. I mean,
No
it'll
news
happen
from this
sooner or later.
side. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's busy right now. Everyone's busy just hunkering down on the mobile app and that. So
plus we've also got Christmas right around the fucking corner.
Yeah.
yeah,
That shit's gonna get hectic real fast.
I'm pretty sure people are prepping the site for that as well. So
There's
Yeah.
some things in the background. Yes, there's always things in the
Yeah.
background, as we know.
uh, yeah, go check out the building Glimesh discourse if you haven't yet. There's some interesting topics going on over there.
To say the
Anyway,
least.
so that's it for platform news. We've got some gaming news now, which is where all the good stuff is at.
It's all chunky
Um,
this week too.
There's lots of stuff.
Can I start?
So
Can I start?
Hey.
I want to start with gaming news.
All right.
Okay,
fine.
so long awaited for you fellow MMO fans. World of Warcraft patch 9.1.5 finally has a release date of November 2nd. So if you've had any issues or complaints with how Shadowlands has been playing, most of those are finally being addressed, and the game will be a playable state. So, yeah.
Wow, playable.
Yeah.
Playable. As in, what is it unplayable right now?
Well, it's not necessarily unplayable. It's just it's very anti-player engagement right now. So they're fixing a lot of that stuff. So
correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't it been WoW for like the last 2
yeah.
years?
Yeah.
3 years?
But this is the first patch that they're like taking the actual feedback from the community and making the changes to the game. So myself, I'm personally excited for it because they're finally making changes based on community feedback. So that's coming up here shortly. So
Tech just put in chat. Wait, so they released an unplayable game? Nice. Get
behind that for
yeah.
sure. Cyberpunk 2077. Let's just
Yeah.
out in the
I was
open.
gonna say, if there's an unplayable game, it's got to be Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, like come on, it's not the first one.
Yeah.
But in some good news,
Yes.
New World server transfers are now live.
No,
so
they're not.
if you wish to yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not.
They are not active. They are not active.
Thank you,
They've
Amazon.
actually stopped them again because there's an internal
stopped
infrastructure
again?
issue. Yes, there's an internal issue.
All right.
Thank you,
So,
Amazon.
New World server
Thank you,
transfers
Bezos.
were live. They were live for a very brief period, and obviously they've shut down.
Yes.
But yeah, so at least they're working on it. That's
They are
some good
working on it.
news.
They're also working
some good
on
news.
further map expansion and new enemies as well, since we're touching on that.
Nice.
But that is unconfirmed at this stage.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they're not
so
going to release it.
Xbox revealed the other week that they've only announced 1/3 of their games in production. That excites the shit out of me.
Who's that?
They've announced a lot of games. Xbox. So obviously, Xbox Game Studios have only announced 1/3 of their games in production, which is hella cool. There's already a lot of games either releasing or will be releasing, and that's only 1/3. That's next year's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, check chat. That's aimed at you, buddy.
Oh. Hey, it's called a patch for a reason. They're fixing WoW, so.
PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan is frustrated that PlayStation games are only restricted to PlayStation users.
Hold on.
That you created.
Hold on. Didn't Xbox a year and a half ago try and go to crossplay so it was open to all players?
Yeah. It started with Rocket League, right? So Xbox and Nintendo were like, yeah, let's get along, let's have fun,
and Sony went,
party and shit.
No.
And Sony's like, fuck you, I'm not part of that.
I'm
not gonna
toxic shit on our network.
Yeah.
And now he's complaining because they're only locked to PlayStation.
But then Sony turned their back on everyone. It's like, no, PlayStation games are for the PlayStation, and they're not going cross-platform or anything like that.
PlayStation's for the player. Remember,
they went to PC.
The player. It's all for the player.
Yeah, but now Jim Ryan's frustrated that there's the games aren't diverse enough. So he wants PlayStation games to be as popular and as readily available as music and movies. Xbox cloud gaming, anybody?
Game
uh,
Exactly.
Game
That's
Pass.
right.
yeah, Game Pass, yeah.
Do
What
we
it's
do we
Nvidia's
Hey,
thing.
at least PlayStation Plus gives you 2 games per month.
Xbox gives you
Wow.
Xbox gives
I
you 4.
Yeah.
honestly, I would like I pay $130 a year for Game Pass Ultimate. But
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a lot, but really it isn't,
Oh,
because
for sure.
I have access to a rotating roster of games, over 100 of them, and
Yeah.
I play enough games where that $130 a year is definitely warranted. Like all you got to do is play 2 AAA titles, and you got your money back.
But I mean,
You
like,
know?
think about it
Yeah.
though. Like that Game Pass Ultimate gives you Xbox Game Pass, so console, PC
Yep.
Game Pass, and your Xbox Live Gold membership.
Yes.
Now, the PC Game Pass alone is $10.95. So
Yeah.
you're getting the Xbox Game Pass and your Gold for $6 or
hmm
$5. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like,
Yeah.
you can play the games on the PC, on the Xbox, and you've got your
I think
Gold
it's like
included. So you get your
Yeah.
4 free games a month anyway from the Xbox Live Gold. Like,
I think it's like
it
ten
makes
ninety five Australian for Game Pass Ultimate
Yeah.
per month. Which
Either way, Sony is so slacking on the
yeah,
services they provide to the players because they're just like buy the
yeah,
games, buy the games, buy the games.
yeah,
yeah.
They don't.
We're all
exactly
we're all
right.
about platform exclusives, and I mean
Yeah.
they said that they're all about they're all about generations,
Mm-hmm.
platform exclusives, and now they're
Yep.
starting to slowly divert from that.
hmm
Even though the fanboys are like, "Oh yeah, PlayStation exclusives," like it's like, but they're treading down this road where it's becoming more diverse. So it'd be
I
interesting to
don't
see
think
how
they
that
have a
goes.
choice. I think the market is and things like Nintendo talking about, the 64 and the older games coming back to their store. The fact that
Mm.
Xbox has got their backwards compatibility right through to the original console. I don't think Sony has a choice but to divert the PlayStation down the same path as Xbox in that
Mm.
general market of saying, hey, we're now
Now,
going to push their
play,
ideas, but we're going to do it ourselves. It's like, Glimesh for Twitch. Like, we're going to do things our way, but it's still
yeah,
the same way type thing, like,
like I understand their push for generations, but it's just stupid. People who
Mm.
yeah,
invested a large amount of money
yeah,
into previous generations,
hmm
yeah,
Uh,
and you
exactly.
just want them to spend more money. Like
Hmm.
that's where Xbox comes out on top, because you do have what now 4 generations of games
hmm
Yeah.
available to you, and they're now back on the backwards compatibility train, and they're starting to add more uh, older games
I
to the
mean,
list.
as someone that's been
So
playing Sony consoles since like before I could remember, like I've played every generation of Sony console. I don't see myself getting into PS5.
No.
For me, I think what I'm going to wind up doing is getting Gran Turismo 7, PlayStation 4, and once I'm done with that, moving over to Xbox because I'm getting such a bigger deal on Game Pass PC that I want to take advantage of that. I want to get a series console because I've never owned an Xbox myself, and I'm actually thinking about making the switch just because of what Microsoft offers over what Sony has.
you'll
Like
love
I think it's
I know,
I think it's also a lot easier for Microsoft to do the things that they do because they do have Windows on the PC
it.
yeah,
and they've got a dumbed down version of Windows on the Xbox. It's kind of the same network.
yeah,
What
But
they
like,
can bring on the
yeah,
PC, they can bring to console and vice versa. It's
hmm
it's it's a
yeah.
no-brainer. So they
But
they target two markets.
Xbox for many years has always been about games. Like,
Like,
and
shut up.
thank Phil Spencer, because holy shit, if he didn't arrive on the scene, we wouldn't be in the state where we are
No,
now
no,
with
no, no.
Xbox.
Spencer's saved it.
Phil Spencer hopped in, said, "We've got to make it about the games. We've got to make it about community." They
Yep.
they did games. They made games backwards compatible. People lost their fucking mind when
But
he
they
announced that. And
but they made multiplayer games. They made games to bring people together, not have single player and nothing
Yes.
else.
Hmm.
Yes, but that's where the community aspect came in. So they
Mm.
they did games. They made sure they delivered on what people wanted for games. Then moved on to community.
Yeah.
And once they sorted out community, they moved on to accessibility. And they've made strides since
You
then.
know,
I mean,
do you know the funny thing that I've only ever heard the biggest complaint, the one biggest complaint that I've heard about the Xbox PlayStation war, and let's be honest, the war's over. It's been over 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
But the
yeah,
biggest complaint I ever heard with Xbox and PlayStation was Xbox don't have exclusives. That was the only thing they could ever whinge about. It's like you don't
they
need
did.
exclusives. You don't need
But
it. No, they
yeah,
did go away from exclusive for a period
they
of
they
time.
they did,
You don't
but
need
they
them.
still had exclusive. I mean, like Forza Motorsport, right? That's
Yeah,
still
but
exclusive.
Yeah.
Halo still exclusive.
but
Uh,
they did divert away from
but they
exclusives for a
but
while.
they
They weren't
didn't
getting that.
have as many exclusives as what PlayStation had. That's what the
I think
argument.
That's
exclusives
yeah,
are
that's
on their
what
way out. I think it's
yeah.
a dying game
Exclusives are
strategy.
done.
Yeah, it does. It's not about exclusives anymore.
No.
It's not about platforms. Platform war is over.
Ah,
Like
it's
you're
finished.
only making a war if you want a war.
Yeah.
I just want to play my games with everyone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I praise cross-platform games. Like
Yeah.
that just opens everything wide open. It's like, oh, you play on Nintendo Switch, cool. I'm on Xbox. Games cross-platform, sweet.
Mm.
Let
Hmm.
let's do that.
Like,
You know,
let's throw this left ball out into the field here from it. How good would it be for Gran Turismo to go cross-generation, cross-platform?
ah, it's not going to
Like,
happen.
I mean, it is
if
going to
that went to
be
the PC, I'd be fucking stoked. I'd
uh,
grab it, and
GT7
play it on
is going to
PC.
be cross generational between PS4 and PS5,
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
but that's
you
it.
can. If you got the new PS5, you can play with PS4. But I'm saying in general, like if it was say Xbox One Series, PS4, PS5, and PC, like imagine the spread that you would then generate for
Oh,
the
for
Sony
sure.
tag.
But one of the greatest games that has come out on PlayStation was God of War. That now is no longer a PlayStation exclusive.
That's right.
Sorry, fanboys. But PC Master Race because it's coming out on Steam, January 14. So if you are one of those PC Master Race fanboys who are like, I'm not going to buy a console, I'm just going to wait till it comes out on PC and then praise that PC is better than console, your time is coming. January 14, God of War will appear on Steam. Where to go next?
Where to go next is so much.
There's so much. There's so many game news. Minecraft Java and Minecraft Bedrock Edition will both be available on Game Pass for PC in November.
Yay, Minecraft.
That's huge though. Like they've always been treated very separately.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like if it's on the Xbox sort of area, it's like all Bedrock, and then Java
Java
Edition's
was
been
the
it's there, but it's like it's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just PC. It's like, but now they're like jamming them together. Like they're both going to be there on Game Pass. So
does
it's
that
an interesting
breed
turn.
the interest that maybe Java could come to the console?
I think they're trying to phase out Java. They've been trying to push people off of Java for a few years now.
But then
the
why
problem
bring
is
the
that
Java to the Game Pass?
I think it's just to have it in one spot.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is. Whether they're trying to get rid of one and replace it with the other, I don't think they're going to do that because there are certain mechanics that work in Java that don't work in Bedrock, and there are certain mechanics that work in Bedrock that don't work in Java. So each has
100%.
their own sort of ups and downs.
Yeah.
I think they will keep them separately and have them as two separate editions. But I think
We need to
it's
get
just the-
we need to get
have it
Paravox
together.
on the show about Minecraft because he's one of the guys who helps build shit for it. So we need to get him on the show and actually find out those differences in between Java and Bedrock and what
I
that
have
may mean for the console.
I have to severely distance myself from Minecraft because every time I'm like, I'm bored, let's see what Minecraft is up to. I like no life Minecraft for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I need to like force myself to stop because I get so lost in Minecraft. I need to
Yeah.
just like stop. And it coming to Game Pass, and every time I open Game Pass, it's gonna be like, hey, have you tried Minecraft yet? I'm gonna be like, no, no, don't get Minecraft away from me.
I struggle with Minecraft, uh, vanilla Minecraft basically because it's just the same old. That's why I like playing modded Minecraft. That's why I'm sort of holding out for the next for the Caves and Cliffs update part 2 to
Yeah.
be fully implemented. Then I'm gonna go deep diving it because there's gonna be so much to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. Like
Also,
some of the mods were really good. Like
We
the
need
a
industry
lot of the
mod where you
mods
could
are
make
good.
quarries and stuff like that, where it would
we need
auto
a
like
we need
create.
we need a Glimesh Minecraft server that people can just kind of pop in and out of.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about starting up a new server, but I just didn't know how to do it
I have no
or
idea
what it
either.
was going to be. Because I'm a massive fan of Sky Factory. I
Mhm.
love Sky Factory. It's like I've been a fan of Skyblock, since
Yeah.
it first came out. So I just love that type of survival where if you fall off the edge, you're fucked. You've
Yeah.
essentially lost everything on yourself. Um, yeah, be definitely a good thing to look into in the future. For those that still play Among Us, it will be launching on Xbox Game Pass
People
on
still play
December
that?
14th. Apparently, it's relevant enough to bring it on Game Pass in December.
Okay.
So, yep, that confused the
Yeah,
hell out of me too.
not sure that's going to be a hit on the console.
I don't think it
Yeah.
will either.
Like,
So
I don't even know what the player base is for Among Us. Like, to be fair,
look,
I'm
I
almost certain
played
that
it.
it's not going to be.
I played it, but the first time I played it, I had people join in the lobby and do some rather unsavory things with their names. So that was
Yes.
probably the last time that I
Yeah.
played that game.
Yeah,
It's
no.
fun to play with a
Again,
group of people. Like I know a couple weeks ago Banjax
Yeah.
did his event with the Goose Goose Glimesh event that he had. Playing Goose Goose
Yeah.
Duck, which was kind of like an Among Us clone. And it's taking that style of game and playing with a good group of people is what really makes that game.
Yeah.
It's not the game itself, it's the people you play it with.
yeah. That's kind of what I struck with it. Is like watching it. It's just like if you get one toxic person in the game, and it just turns into a
It's
shit
awful.
fest.
Yeah. Speaking of shit, Diablo 2 Resurrected is having
Oh,
server issues. Big time. Weeks
Thank you,
weeks
Blizzard.
after launch,
Thank you,
they
Blizzard.
just cannot get their shit right.
hang on. Is that yet another offspring from WoW that's unplayable? What? No.
Imagine like all these people releasing games that are unplayable. That's
Yeah,
strange.
imagine. Wow.
You're all coming out of the same studio. That's the problem.
Hmm.
It's all Blizzard.
So
That is-
Ubisoft hit the headlines with Far Cry 6, obviously, and some information around Far Cry 7 sort of came out of the woodwork. I don't know how much this has been confirmed, but it seems that Far Cry 7 will be an online-focused game, ditching a large portion of the single-player aspect.
that sounds like a mistake.
Yeah. See,
It
for
just
me,
seems like
Far Cry
Ubisoft
was.
though. Like Ubisoft just likes to make everything online and
I
online
like
only.
Far Cry's were good. Like it was a co-op. It was always good as a co-op game. It kind of brought some sort of like mill sim to it. Like you could kind of you know rogue agent the thing, but to go online, I don't know. I'm not sure that's the right decision.
Yeah.
It's just it's what Ubisoft do. It's what they do. GTA the Trilogy, the definitive edition, has been shown off in all of its glory this week. And I have to say, it's about what I expected. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, go and watch the trailer. It is interesting to say the least. The trilogy will cost $60 US,
Oh,
or $91 Australian, or
Oof.
$90.95 Australian, on PC. That's the only
Okay.
price available is for PC.
I mean, that's like $20 a
which
game.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
You are getting three games for it, but
You're
it
saying
more concerns
PC?
me about it more concerns me that the price is only available for PC. Like you can pre-order for other platforms, but there's no price.
How do you
Which
pre-order with no
concerns me.
price?
It's Rockstar.
That's a good point.
But it slightly concerns me that the price is going to be higher
Mm.
on platforms.
Yeah, that
Like,
does kind of strike that issue, doesn't it?
That does not.
Isn't it
not
also
sit
only
well with
playable
me
on the
at all.
Rockstar launcher as well?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if you're playing on PC, you have to use the Rockstar launcher. I mean, regardless of where you got the game, like even if you got it on Steam, it still uses the Rockstar launcher.
Interesting. That'll be something to keep a watch on the next couple of weeks.
But good news out of it is that San Andreas, the remaster of San Andreas, will be coming to Xbox Game Pass. So that's pretty cool.
Huh?
It just randomly, I don't know why.
What?
GTA San Andreas remaster will be coming to Game Pass.
They didn't want to give people
fine.
the one they really want to play, which is Vice City.
Yeah, they don't want to give you Vice City because Vice City is the better
let's
one.
be honest, like 75% of the people that buy the trilogy just want Vice City again.
Well, that's it. And I'm pretty sure one of the other ones, I'm pretty sure it's just GTA 3.
Yeah.
Was coming out on another platform. I think it could have been PS Now or something. I'm not entirely sure. I did see it at some point, but I didn't really take that much notice of it, unfortunately.
So why did the trilogy just to break it up and put one somewhere else? And like, what sense does that make?
Teaser.
It's to incentivize you to buy the rest of the trilogy. So it's like, hey, I try San Andreas. Hey, this is awesome. I want to play Vice City now. Now I have to buy the thing because I want to play Vice City.
But you think about it, it only comes as a trilogy. So
that's right.
San Andreas coming to Game Pass, you'll be able to install it, but if you go to buy it, you have to buy the trilogy.
Yeah, you're still then paying for San Andreas.
Yeah. So it's like hey, this is what we've done with it. Everyone gets to try it out for free on Game Pass. Oh, you want the other two?
Well, you better pay us for the one that you just played.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Cha-ching. It's just it's Rockstar doing what Rockstar do best.
Things.
Dollar signs and dollar signs and more dollar signs.
Money. Yep.
I'm sure they're owned by Twitch.
Right. There's also a possible GTA 6 announcement dropping alongside the release of the trilogy.
Are you sure it's not just another GTA 5 remaster?
This is from an insider apparently that GTA 6 news will drop with the trilogy. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens there. I'm not holding my breath on that one.
GTA 6 Return to Los Santos.
And I believe the
it's just Los Santos, but 10 years in the future.
Oh no! Maybe that will finally be finished. Who knows?
Look, I got these great ideas. Like, I could make Rockstar so much money. Like, what if we just take Los Santos and do that again, but just update it a little and call it a new game?
You're crazy. You can't do that. But I believe that the trilogy is launching on December 11th, if my memory serves me correctly.
Just in time for the holidays.
I mean,
all the kids are going to be doing this Christmas.
I'll play it. I'll give it a go. But
yeah, I'm gonna play San Andreas since it's all on Game Pass. So
yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 launches in 2 weeks.
It does,
which is
yay.
or a week and a half if you're
I've already got
getting
it
early access
pre-installed
to
on
it.
the Game Pass.
Francis. It took up 103 gig.
Yeah, right.
On the
Yeah.
Series X.
It took
It
up
was even more on
111
the
on the
Xbox
console.
One. On the Xbox One, it was 110 or something.
111.
Yeah,
111.9 gig.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a good 103 gig on average. So if you are looking to install that, make sure you do have the room for it.
124 on PC with update.
Jeez.
Oh, damn.
There's going to be a day one patch. You know damn well.
Oh,
there's gonna be a day
absolutely.
one.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
going to be like 20 to 50 gig.
Mhm.
That patch is going to be.
Love my 8 terabyte hard drive.
But if you haven't seen the comparison footage of performance mode and quality mode on the series consoles, have a look at it because it is just wow. You can barely tell the difference between the two, and the fact that both of them are running at 4K, quality mode runs at 30 FPS, performance mode runs at 60 FPS. They're both just as good. I'm gonna have trouble trying to choose between both of them. But yeah, that's gonna be really cool. Fans also got in a frenzy this week over from Xbox because they had tweeted kicking off something special. Prepare the chickens. So people assumed that it was finally going to be some news about Fable, which was announced a number of years ago, but has just sort of
Dwindled.
filtered off into the
Yeah,
darkness.
Yep.
So everyone hopped on that bandwagon because everyone's like, "Yeah, Fable." No, it wasn't. So Xbox quickly deleted that tweet and rectified the situation, saying that had nothing to do with Fable. And really don't know what Playground Games is doing in regards to Fable. But Playground Games have just released, well, will be releasing Horizon 5. So we might hear something soon about that. Sorry, I've got so many notes here. So probably the biggest one, which was really interesting. It happened at the, I believe it happened the day after the last show. Activision announced the Ricochet anti-cheat for Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah.
And called out all cheaters and hackers, saying their days were numbered. A mere 24 hours after the announcement, it seems as though Activision accidentally leaked Ricochet's kernel level driver. Yeah. So cheat makers and hackers were quick on top of that. It was wondered whether Activision used this as like some sort of Trojan horse to lure out the cheaters and hackers to see if just sort of like essentially dip their toes in the water to see who was out there. We don't know whether it was real or not. If it was real, holy shit, Activision, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't think they like the.
I feel like I ask that about once a week.
I don't think that was a mistake. To be fair, I think it was definitely set up to be, hey, look, here's our brand new anti-cheat. Here's the access to it.
Yeah.
It's a subtle hint to find out who's there. And I mean, look, the hackers would have jumped at, oh yeah, look, I can get in the fucking, I'll jump straight at that. But at the end of the day, they're going to highlight themselves.
I mean, if you think about it, it's called Ricochet for a reason. So it's like you go in there, it's like, haha, gotcha. Boom.
That's right.
Ricochet.
There's pretty good chance that it was just one massive Trojan horse, and it was just a big diversion.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is also a way for Activision to hardware ban.
grabbing
Mhm.
IPs.
Yeah.
Yes.
IPs, or even just like say graphic cards and things like that.
Yeah.
Being able to ban the hardware so they can't access that game. So again, Activision might have played a smart hand for a change.
Yeah.
Then again,
I-
it's
yeah.
Activision. They might have just stuck their foot deeper in the shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Activision doesn't really have the greatest track record.
No, not for
Let's
doing
be
something with
honest.
I
confidence,
mean,
but
at the end of the day,
Well, it was
hackers and cheaters only ruin game experience, and any way to get them off of games permanently is a good idea.
it was just so funny because they delivered this massive tweet just calling out all cheaters and hackers and just basically slandering them, saying their days were numbered, and then immediately the next day
give
it's
them
like,
the
oh,
It
access.
was, it had to be
our
intentional.
our
It
our
absolutely was
kernel drive
intentional.
has been leaked. Oh no, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was done by accident. It was set
If it
up.
if it was a ploy and it was set up to just get a list of IPs and that they can just immediately put on a block list, fucking genius move.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
I
yeah.
guarantee it would work. Like you get
Oh,
so many people doing it.
I mean, look at. I mean, it's the same with Counter Strike Go, isn't it? There's a guy who creates anti hacks for it.
Yeah.
And he gets it posted first thing on Google. If you go like Counter Strike or CS:GO cheats, like he's the first one that pops up. But as soon as you go to throw the grenade, it drops it at your feet and blows up. Or it's a complete anti-cheat to the cheats, and it's really funny because you find out who's hacking the game at that point, and it's just
Yeah.
funny. Look him up on
There
YouTube. Look up
there
Counter
was
Strike
like
anti-cheat. It's funny as fuck. He does
Game
some
Dev
wicked shit.
Tycoon. I think it was Game Dev Tycoon, or yeah. Uh, they themselves implemented an anti-cheat, where if you illegally downloaded the game from other sources, it would actually install a different line of code that would make the game substantially harder than what it
I
usually
think
is.
I think one of my favorite stories of anti-cheat, anti-piracy is Spyro Year of the Dragon. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this one, but so on the PS1 there was like this code that the PlayStation had to read, and if it got fudged, the game would actually continue to play as normal. And then it would get to a certain point and it would be like, hey, you're using an illegal copy of the game. Please use the right one. But then you could just hit OK and keep going. But as you're playing through the game, randomly like the eggs you collect, the treasure would all just get deleted from your list, so you'd have to go back and recollect them. And you could actually like play through the entire game, and when you beat the final boss of the game, it resets and saves the game with zero progress.
I
So
love that.
Wow, that's interesting.
like if you
That's interesting.
like and like the
Like-
further you get in the game, the more buggy, the more stuff it deletes, eventually just like erasing all of your progress and saving it.
I love that idea. I mean, Game Dev Tycoon did the same thing, where it immediately popped up with a message as soon as you open up the game, like this isn't legally downloaded copy of this game. So like they knew, they
Yeah.
knew who was
Oh, yeah.
playing it legitimately and who wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Also on the 17th, which seems like a lifetime ago, the Minecraft Live event happened. So we finally got some updates about Minecraft. They did announce that after the Caves and Cliffs update is done, which should be along soon, they will be working on the next update, touted the Wild update, which
They're adding
looks
frogs.
pretty damn cool.
Frogs.
Yeah. So the update will introduce mud, regeneratable clay, so you won't have to search for clay blocks.
Okay.
You can actually use mud and dirt. I think it is. I think you like shove dirt into the mud and clay or something. Clay bricks, mangrove swamps, frogs, tadpoles, boats with chests, and it will come with the Deep Dark and the Warden as well. So that's going to be cool. I mean, everyone's looking forward to the Warden. That is one creepy mob.
Speaking of game updates, for anybody that plays Grounded, they just dropped the Hot and Hazy update for Grounded this week. that adds the toxic haze biome and the
Yeah.
sandbox, along with new enemies and armor sets and RPG
Well, it was
skills.
actually it was 4 biomes. So
Yeah.
it was the haze area, it
Yeah.
was the sand pit, the picnic table,
And the trash.
and the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a large chunk
Yeah.
of map that's now fully explorable.
Yeah.
Uh,
And new enemies and armors and RPG stats and stuff like that. It was a huge update. I still haven't had a chance to get in there myself and check it out, but it's definitely on my to-do list.
there's a lot in that update. But back to Minecraft. Uh, another poll was taken, as they do every time Minecraft Live is on, to vote on which mob should come into the game next. So the options were Glare, the Ally, and the Copper Golem. The winner was the Ally, interestingly enough. The Ally is a floating mob that enjoys music and note blocks. And if you give them an item, they will go out and find the same or similar items, assuming they're able to pick them up. That's an interesting mechanic. That I don't know how that will go, but we won't
Sounds more
see
like a
that
drone,
mob
doesn't it?
for
It sounds more like a drone. Here, go and collect me sand. Okay, phew, off it goes.
Yeah, but it's like a ghostly mob. It's weird. It's almost like a wisp sort of thing.
You play music and say, "Hey, give me apples."
Yeah, but like you could give it an apple, and assuming it could pick up that apple, it would go out and grab an apple.
Yeah.
Would it? Yeah. Okay. Is it going to be a
But it's
multi-level
not
thing?
gonna.
Like, is it going to?
No, it's not gonna go out and say grab you a stack of apples. It's just gonna go out. And
Shit.
What?
Shit. Don't need it.
So assuming I don't know how that's going to work, but it will be interesting. We probably won't see that mob come into the game for at least another 6 months.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if you could get, say, 5 or 6 or whatever of them in the one area.
Well,
that could be interesting.
Well, obviously it would be a tameable mob.
Oh, it would have to be, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Also, as a final jab, Call of Duty Warzone devs have officially come out and said that campers are cowards.
Yeah, and
Of course they are.
So what's the definition of a camper at that point?
Anyone who like camps in a room and just waits for the door to open. Anyone see?
So it's a game tactic.
That's a little bit of a gray area.
I always play sniper. Like I always find like a spot where I can sit and like look at the large area of the map and go pew.
Yeah, yeah. I love playing sniper in games like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's more towards people who literally just sit in one spot,
hide behind like a countertop or something and shoot people that walk into a room.
People to come around a corner or through a doorway and just that.
Isn't that called ambush?
No, that's called not playing the damn game. Why would you pay so much for a game to sit on the floor and do nothing?
Because you're getting kills and points and winning.
That's right.
No, but you're not playing the damn game.
Sure you are.
No, but
you're buying the game, play the damn game.
But dying in the game is no fun.
But this then stems down to the thing is, how do you know how long that person's been there for? They might have run in there, heard you coming, gone in behind that counter, waited for you to come in, ambush you.
That's a little bit different. That's not really camping. I think their main jab is that people who just sit and camp like for extremely long periods of time. That is what I'd say they're aiming at. And
most.
Yes, I mean, isn't camping and hiding the best way to play a battle royale game though? Like just run to the area that is safe and don't get shot.
And then hide.
Like like that's the point of a battle royale game, is to be the last one standing.
Lane, loot, survive.
Boring is that? Like
that might be boring for you, but it's not boring for them.
Yeah, but I've seen people. I've seen videos of people do it in like Fortnite, where
Like
they've
it's not about how many
hidden up in
kills
a
you
tree
have.
or something for the whole fucking match.
Yeah.
It's that boring.
But it's not about how many kills you have. It's about being the last one standing.
That's what I've always said about
But
battle royales. How many kills does it take to win the game? And everyone's like, oh, you've got to get 25, 30 kills. Like, no,
No.
you need one.
Yeah.
You need that last guy, and that's it.
That's the only one you need to kill. Yeah, exactly.
sorry, I'm not going to go out and buy a game just to sit in a fucking corner and do nothing.
But again, like, you don't know. That player might have played through 20 levels of running around and.
I mean, I'll say this.
If it was a damn game where I bought it and I did nothing, I would buy Rock Simulator.
I played quite a bit of PUBG when that was popular, and for me, like, I'm not good at shooters, so going in and trying the stealth approach, like hide in a building, listen for people coming, and try to hide, was an exhilarating experience for me because I was playing on that stealth aspect of trying to survive the longest.
And you got people who do it.
Being stealth and just sitting in one spot for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, but in a battle royale, you can't sit in one spot the entirety of the game. You can't do it because the whole idea of them is that the zone moves and you've got to move to that zone. So that's what I don't understand. Camping and they're whinching about it in battle royales is like, I don't understand it. You have to move.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, they've called them out. They've called them cowards.
It's just a different way to play the game. That's all.
Well, I just don't care. You play the game how you feel you can play the game. If you're comfortable with just like creeping around,
as long as you're not hacking or breaking the actual game's rules, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. All's fair in love and war, apparently.
Yeah.
We have different standpoints on this. Anyway, that is that is all the game news I have, unless you guys have something else that I do not have here.
No, Craftopia did release a new update as well. Again, that was a pretty substantial update, allowing more more additional stuff for the worlds and more things you can craft and make, moving through different regions and stuff. So that was a pretty decent update. That's coming to console as well and PC, obviously.
I still need to play that.
Craftopia is a lot of fun.
So in other news, Microsoft has pledged to investigate the possibility of letting consumers repair their own hardware, including Xbox consoles. That's interesting. So there's this whole right to repair thing that's been floating around for many years now. And it's good that they're actually sort of diving into that area. So you don't have to, like, if you had... Wait, there's more game news?
More game news?
Not yet. Lady? No game news?
No. That's Animal Crossing. Oh. I'm sorry.
Yes, let me...
Yeah,
speaking
put everything
speaking
on
of
hold
Nintendo, speaking of Nintendo, did we actually talk about the pricing of the new expansion on the show?
Last week,
but we didn't do a show last week.
No, I don't think we talked about the pricing. We talked about it coming out.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously the Brewster and the Roost Cafe is coming. Something long requested by a lot of fans, but also the new Villages and Animals coming. There's a new update that is allowing a new island, basically, to travel and do other jobs, so to speak, to give the animals on the island their own space to work. So a lot of the vendors and stuff actually have their own areas, and you can create like a merchant island type deal. So you can decorate it how they like their things. So someone like stuffed animals, you can put teddy bears and shit like that. You can then bring that back to your main island as well, where you can be able to use some of those features in your main island. The opportunity to have, let me just read the notes here. You can tour on boats, go through different islands. So there's going to be a plaza. Custom items that can be used in your own island. So there's new hairstyles, new home exterior options. The storage is going up from 2,500 to 5,000, which is quite a big expansion for the Switch. So that's going to be interesting. And new cooking as well. So there's some cooking coming to Animal Crossing.
Nice.
So there's a big
Cool.
update. It's out on the 5th of November.
Just around the corner, week
Yeah.
and a half away. That
So,
is going to be
Might be a little bit of
quality
time to
That first week in November
fill in
is
before Forza.
the first week in November
Yeah.
is going to be so busy.
It
Right?
is.
Christmas is turning out to be jam packed. So back onto Microsoft. Thinking about letting consumers repair their own hardware. Microsoft has agreed to hire an independent consultant to study the benefits of giving consumers more access to parts and repair documentation, including whether this will reduce carbon emissions and waste. Of course, it's going to reduce
Yeah.
carbon.
People have been
emissions and
repairing
waste.
their PCs for 25 years.
Yeah.
Look, I would love more than anything new thumbsticks, right? I want the ability to go out and buy brand new fucking thumbsticks. That's it. That's all I care about
hmm
because they wear out like no one's business, right? No, because that it's such an easy thing to replace. All you
Yeah,
gotta do is pop off the back, take a couple of screws off, bam, new
Good no,
thumbstick. You're not like
mine's
soldering
even
anything on
easier.
or anything like that.
Mine's even easier.
Yeah, I know. I know. There's the Elite controller. You just, I get that.
Oh. Well, I do. Take mine off and I pull them off.
Yeah, but like, yeah,
So you need to do, Speed.
whatever. But the whole point is that it will reduce carbon emissions and waste if people are able to sort of do these.
I mean, look,
repairs.
if we've got easily access to it through, say, your big chains like EB Games or GameStop, things like that, we can go in and say, hey, we need this part. They just go, yep, there it is, bang, and we can go home and do it. We don't have to send the thing away. We're not wasting money on, buying a new controller that, Xbox
Mhm.
then have to mass produce more. If they've got instead of mass producing the controller, if they send the controllers out and then give you a range of parts for the controller,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you
I mean,
really need? The buttons and the sticks.
Microsoft-
You don't need casings and
Yeah.
shit.
But like Microsoft has the parts. Now, obviously, they've got the parts there, and we could go into EB Games, GameStop, Game, whatever, and you could send off your console controller, and they will send it to a Microsoft certified repair station somewhere in the world, and then they will repair it and they send it back. Essentially, you'd be cutting out the middleman. You'd be cutting all that shipping that is just not necessary at all.
Look,
I mean, obviously, not everyone should do it.
no, I mean, obviously not. You don't want everyone being able to do it, but if you're confident and you know what you're doing, then
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
look, we've been doing
and-
spare parts for years. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not hard. It's just put them in a bundle. Like, here's your A button, your X button, your Y button. Here's all your bumpers and stuff. If you break them,
I think
pop them out, pop them in, away you go.
I think it's certain things. Certain things should be available to the general public.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Other things should be available to certified repairers.
Oh,
So
100%.
Like you shouldn't be replacing
the
control boards.
actuator, yeah, but like the boards, the electronics, the actuator buttons for the bumpers, like all that stuff's got to be soldered onto the board. If it's something that can be easily popped off and replaced, that should be available to the general public.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what they should do.
Well, I mean, look at some of your keyboards and that like that. Nowadays, you can go and get different switches and put the different keys on them. It's no different. Like
Right,
that's
yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
It's
It's
that.
there. Like,
But for some reason, when it comes to consoles and that, it's like, oh no, that's a touchy
Yeah,
market. We don't want to do that. Profit margins.
Profit.
it's not like people aren't taking the consoles and pulling them apart on YouTube anyway, so you see what's inside. So, I mean,
Right?
you already know what's there. Like,
Yeah.
just give us the ability to fix the fucking thing. Like,
I
it's
mean,
not
like
hard.
my Xbox console, there is not a damn thing I can pull that apart. There's nothing I can do on the inside. there's nothing I can change
fans,
out really.
Yeah.
A fan,
Yeah.
but yeah. but I mean, it runs quiet, so it's like there's no point in doing that. But
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
mainly I would see the bigger market in controllers.
Controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That's where I would see the
100%.
market.
Yeah, totally. Because
Um,
it's what you're holding on to all the time, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the one thing that goes through so much wear and tear. As I said, thumbsticks they wear down really quickly if you're an aggressive gamer.
Yeah.
So,
It's mainly just the rubber. So you want to be able to like take the cover off, pop the stick out, put a new stick in there, and put the cover back on. That's
yes,
Yeah.
pretty much all you need to do because the actual switches inside don't really get like they'll get loose
They-
over
they-
time, but you don't
I
need
mean the
to worry too much
buttons.
about them.
I do have controllers where the buttons are busted, but as I've learnt the hard way, those buttons do need to be soldered in. So yeah, that sort of stuff. That's obviously that's major damage that needs to be sent away to get
Yeah,
repairs.
that's right. But the
But
general consensus,
general wear and tear, like if
yeah,
you like somehow crack the outer casing on your controller, or you want a new D-pad or thumbsticks, or one of your buttons lost all the print on it and you want to replace that, like that sort of stuff.
I think the biggest thing would be the rubbers. Like, how do you get to install the rubbers? Because they always deteriorate.
Yeah,
Always, they always peel off, and you can't like super glue just never gets them back on because they basically fit there, and once they come off, they're just too
Yeah.
loose and they don't fit properly. So you can't.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something, but yeah, there has to be. There's still got to be certified repairers who you can send it away to, so they fix it. The deep down stuff, but the general sticks
But
and
if
casing
they
should
open
be.
it up to anyone can repair, then you won't have to go to your local game store and have them ship it off to
Yeah.
some wanky place.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're waiting like weeks to get it back. You
True.
can sort of you can, if you had a local place, you'd be able to send it to that local person and they'd fix it.
I mean,
and have it back
I'm thinking of like
today.
if you look at like a GameStop or an EB Games, like pre-owned games, like that market is slowly dying, and
Yeah.
they need stuff to like stay in business. I mean, right now they operate mostly on gaming merchandise sales. Like that's the majority of their
Yeah.
profits that they make. So being able to like turn it into like, even if it's not like just buy the parts or even like fix it at the store. Like if you had like a guy at the store that was like, hey, I'm a professional, my job is to fix controllers and consoles. You bring the stuff in, you drop it off, fix it. It becomes kind of like a computer repair shop, but for consoles and
Yeah.
controllers and
Yeah,
things
I
like
mean,
that.
it's sort of like
Exactly
the
right.
Apple Store where they do have that technician on hand that can
Yeah.
actually pull things apart and fix things. It would be like that. Yeah,
I think that's
but,
what they have to do.
Yeah.
But Microsoft will not make the study public because it may contain trade secrets and other proprietary information. But
Oh.
will post a public summary of its findings at the start of May 2022. So,
Can't let people see our electronics. Ooh, spooky.
oh no!
Don't pull your things
They've been
apart.
pretty open. They've been pretty open about what's inside of their hardware.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they tell you everything
I,
anyway
I
when they
mean,
release
you
it all.
look at like some of the new Xbox controllers. They're see through. It's like
Yeah.
there's no.
You can see in it. It's
I've
not
got
hidden.
anything.
I've got a see-through controller right here.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I ordered the 20th anniversary Xbox controller. That's the whole front plate is see through. It's like there's no hiding anything.
Yeah, I can see
There's
everything in
there's
there. I
no
can see all the
secret
numbers on the board.
proprietary
And
hardware.
that's
I
right.
mean,
It's-
unless they're talking about like technical specifics, like say inside the console or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
maybe,
But isn't aren't the specs of the Xbox like all public knowledge anyway?
I was going to
Yeah.
say, find it online.
and people have pulled them apart and had a look and everything, but I'm guessing it would be just it'd be very certain technical things
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
where
100%.
if you did pull it apart and you did know what you were looking for, you would look at it and be like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what that is, but I'm not entirely sure. Like
Yeah.
that would be one of those trade secrets.
I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah. In other news, Sony and Taiwan's TSMC, the largest contract chip maker, are discussing a partnership to build a chip factory in Japan. This is apparently an effort to try and alleviate the chip shortage in the future. I mean, if that happened and they did go into partnership, that factory would not be up and running for at least a few years.
But if
That's
they're going into partnership
going
with
to
them
help.
already there, why can't they just make it there in Taiwan?
Look, I don't.
Like, aren't we just defeating the purpose of partnering with a
I-
company to go
I
and build a factory
don't-
to make them the
I
fucking
don't know.
like? Oh god, Sony,
But
come on!
it would be many years before
Oh,
we would even see that factory come to life, and by then the chip shortage may have alleviated itself. But I mean, for future stuff, sure,
yeah.
it would all kind of make sense. Also, some interesting news from a couple of interesting tidbits from Xbox. Just in time for the holidays, the Xbox mini fridge has gone on sale on October 19,
Yeah.
and will be sold at multiple retailers globally in December 2021.
Might get one from
The
you.
good luck. So the
The
mini
next
fridge,
impossible to get.
the mini fridge went on sale at Target in the US for $99.99 US, obviously. Canada will soon be able to purchase theirs in December. In Europe, the mini fridge will be available from Game for £89.99. In France, Germany, Italy, Ireland, Spain, Netherlands, and Poland at GameStop for €99. They've stated that they're working to bring the Xbox mini fridge to as many fans as possible, and we continue to expand regional availability in 2022,
Mhm.
pending regulatory approvals and restrictions by market. The downside, which is good that we've had 2 weeks to gather this information, is that shortly after the release, which might I add, it sold out very quickly, uh, is that scalpers have dug their claws into everything.
Of
Yep.
course they
And
have.
they
Mhm.
obviously saw a market for it and just grabbed what they could. So not only is there a shortage in Xbox consoles, there is now going to be a shortage on Xbox mini fridges as well, which is a shame because I really wanted to get one. Also,
Yeah.
over here in Australia, right? Over here in Australia, we have no set release date. We don't know when we're getting it, so we probably won't get it till like mid next year.
Yeah, mid next year. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, what $100 US? We're looking at like 130,
About 130 Australian, yeah, which is about standard.
130, $140 for. I mean, it's a small.
It's a
fridge.
it's a 12 can. Holds 12
Yeah.
cans.
I mean, I'd buy it. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I would. Absolutely, I'd
Uh,
fucking buy it.
Yeah, it is an Xbox fridge. So
It's exactly the same as the Series X. It's got the same green light. It's the same shape and
Yeah.
whatever else. Yeah, I'd fucking buy it. Like I said, I'd stick it up here.
Yeah.
Stick it up on my desk.
I don't have a spot for it, but I'd fucking find one. I can tell you that.
You'd sit on it as a chair.
That's for you, Kaza. Xbox and Seagate are releasing new storage expansion cards as well. A new 512 gig and 2 terabyte card will join the current 1 terabyte card collection.
Hold on.
With
Did we
the
just say 512 gig?
512 gig, yes,
Isn't that half the original storage?
yes. It's just a
Wouldn't-
cheaper option,
Wouldn't you want to expand it by making it bigger?
but they did. They brought out a 2 terabyte version. Okay, no, I'm getting there. Just it's It's
It-
not good.
If you
Okay,
have a
it's
Series
good, but it's
S,
not
it
good.
doubles the storage.
Yes.
Good point. Good point, I guess.
And here's where the kick in the pants comes in. The 512 gigabyte card costs $139.99 US.
Oh,
Which, if we're trading currencies and add a little bit extra for shipping and like import costs, roughly about $190 Australian, and
that.
£110.
Oh,
And that will be launching in mid-November. That is, man, yikes. That's the 512 gig card. The 2 terabyte card comes in at a cozy $399.99 US,
oh,
Ooh.
oh,
which
God damn.
which is $540 Australian, which essentially is another
Another
Series X.
console. Yeah.
I
Jesus.
I think I paid $649 for mine. So yeah, that's wild. And that's £300. And that will be launching in early December.
At that point, just buy another console.
Exactly.
I
Just buy another console, sign in and set it as your home console. You have two
look,
consoles with your account in it. Like you
Yeah.
just play some there and some there.
Yeah.
I
Oh my god.
the problem is that yes, they are giving options to people. They are giving a cheaper option and a larger storage option. The proprietary hardware costs too damn much for people to adopt it.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
understand that, obviously the more people that adopt it, the price will come down because obviously they're bulk manufacturing. It costs drop. That's just how it goes. But you need people to adopt it, and I'm not paying for another
No.
console just for two
Fuck no.
terabytes of
No
ultra
way.
fast storage.
When do you think
Not
about it?
going to
Like
happen.
for my situation, I've got, say, myself a console and Lady a console. So we don't, in theory, have to buy 4 consoles just to have any fucking storage. No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. No, I'll stick with my 1S, thanks. It
Yeah.
plays all the games I need right now.
It's pretty bad. Yeah,
But
but
I've got a
the
PC
thing
with
is,
an 8 terabyte coming.
shut up. But I think the bigger problem is that Xbox did say that Seagate will not be the only one to produce these cards. Where are the other manufacturers?
Well, the only other manufacturer I could
What
see
are
would be
they
Western
doing?
Digital.
Yeah.
They're the only
They-
other manufacturer I could see.
but you've got like Kingston as well. Kingston, I could see Kingston doing it.
I
It would be
Nah.
garbage. It'd probably be cheap, but it'd be garbage. Um,
But it can't be that garbage, though, considering they've got to run to a standard. So,
like
even if
I
they
don't
did
know.
make it, it's not going to be cheap and nasty. It's still going to be to the standard that is required.
Yeah.
It's just, I
To a
don't think
extent.
Kingston's in the market to run that. I think your only one who could possibly produce them would be Western Digital.
Yeah, and I would fully trust Western Digital. If they did those expansion cards, they would produce the quality necessary for those. Also, Kaza, is that a Gen 4 M.2 expansion? If not, then your pricing is wrong. Yeah, look, I don't know. It's overwhelming. Like even 512 gig, that's not enough. That's not enough. What you get like 3 games on it now.
Yeah, it's
three
again.
large AAA titles.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
look at
and
Forza.
that's
Would you say it was 100 and what?
Well,
103 gig?
And I think the biggest problem is like
yeah.
even if you buy the discs, you're still installing 50 gigabytes of files. So it's like,
Right.
what's the fucking point of buying a disc? Like
Yeah.
discs.
I don't understand physical hardware. I don't
No.
understand why we still have it. It's completely. I mean, you look at like the tech YouTubers, right? Linus did it the other day. He looked at one of the new Asus motherboards for the next generation of CPUs, and immediately there was a CD in there
This is
for drivers. He just
this is
looked at
what
it,
I
and went,
like about this.
just fucking yeeted it over his shoulder.
Like,
Like,
you
no one
got
cares
this.
about CDs.
This is your game.
Mm.
You put this in and you play it. It's great. It works great. Let's do
But
this
like,
again.
yeah, but now you put a disc in, you install the game to the hard drive,
And then you still
and
need the
is
disc.
really only there. Yeah, but the disc is only there for copyright protection reasons
Yeah.
anyway. So why not eliminate that
Yeah.
and just go for a digital market? On which, if there was a digital only market, holy crap, Xbox, you need to bring down the prices in Australia because holy
Oh, yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
no reason that we should pay $20 more for a digital copy of a game. just no. So I can go down the road. I can buy it $20 cheaper for a physical copy.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
makes
Yeah.
no sense to me at all.
I think if it's on the store, it needs to be a set standard. Like it's a $60 game. It's a $60 fucking game. No matter €60, 60 Australian, 60 US, 60 rupee, whatever the fuck it is. It's just got to be a standard across the fucking board. Because the
Yeah.
problem that you have is you have someone, and it will also save the thing of wanting to gift somebody a game. Like, if I wanted to gift Yakes Forza,
Yeah, but then
I
you
can't do
could
it
gift
because
someone a game. Yeah.
that's right. You could, but you can't do it now because
Yeah.
I pay 90. He's only paying 59. It's like, oh, there's a
Yeah,
fucking
well, that's
problem.
it. Like,
Standardize it
Yeah.
on the store.
yeah,
Standardized payment.
you
It's
pay
simple.
what, $59 for a AAA title
Well,
in
because
America.
they price everything based on the U.S. market.
Well, no, they don't.
No.
We can prove that to you.
Oh, okay.
That is not the case.
Yeah.
So American pricing for games, AAA title, $59. AAA title over here, $99.95. There
Yeah.
is no conversion rate.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
mean,
matches
if there was, if you use the conversion rate, you go from 59 to, I think it's like it's
74?
around 70. It's
Se-
around
70
$70.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's
74.
like 72 or something. Yeah. But still, I would rather pay $72 or 75 bucks. I'd pay $75 for a AAA title instead of $99.95.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's got to be
hands down.
standardized.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but then if it needs to be like Steam, where
Yeah.
you could literally just it doesn't matter where you are, the
That's right.
conversion rate converts the price. Obviously, it's not entirely accurate, but it does have a set price for regions
Mhm.
Yeah.
that does compare to the original pricing from where that game came from.
Yeah,
But that
exactly.
allows you to gift games and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
exactly
for
right.
some reason over here, we get screwed, and it's like we just get charged more because they can.
I don't think Microsoft's cotton onto it yet. I don't think they're really cotton onto the fact that Steam have got this in progress right now and have been using it for ever and a
And it works.
day, and it works
Yeah.
brilliantly.
I mean,
You know?
there are times where I've been playing a game. I know that someone else doesn't have that game, but they really want to play that game, and I'm like, fuck, I really wish I could gift this game to you, but you're not in Australia, so I can't do that.
Yeah,
It just
that's right.
opens up a whole new market if you're able to do something like that.
Yeah.
It would bring the whole Xbox community
Yeah.
worldwide. It wouldn't just be restricted to regions. It wouldn't just region lock the fucking store. It would
Yeah.
bring the entirety of the community into one phase.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if I gift a game over here and I pay $75 to gift that game, that it still equates to $60 in America.
But it shouldn't matter because they're still getting their payment anyway. You physically bought that game. You're giving them the code, whether they're in a different region or not.
I
It shouldn't
know.
fucking matter. This is
I
what
know.
one thing that's never made sense about the Xbox
The thing
gifting
is, like,
process.
if it's not a AAA, well, the gifting process is broken regardless. But just games in general, right? If it's an indie game, that has normalized pricing. So like if the indie game is $20 in US, it's like $29
24.
over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
24,
it's
$29,
it,
yeah.
it equates correctly. But if
Yeah.
it's a AAA title, it's just a blatant money grab over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's a
sucks.
whole lot
And,
of
and I'm
bullshit.
and I'm sure that we're not the only country that's suffering from that issue. It's
Oh,
just
no.
like Xbox has
fuck
just
no.
gone, that's the price, and just whatever.
I
But
think you
with
find
with indie titles, you actually have to negotiate pricing. So
yeah, exactly, yeah.
why can't that happen with AAA titles?
Mm, they don't want it
It-
to.
It's
That's a
it's
problem.
it's always been an issue for me, and I've always gotten up in arms about it for many
What
years.
we
It's
need is a standardized thing across the board and unregion lock the fucking store.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Unlock the
I mean,
region
look,
locking and just
region
standardize the fucking
locking
thing.
hurts.
Oh, it's stupid. It is the dumbest system
Like
in the
I
world.
understand gift cards. Gift cards can obviously be a little bit tricky because like a $25 gift card to say an American user is not going to be $25 over here.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. I mean, you could have regional locks on that. You know,
Like, I
uh,
understand you got region locks on phones and hardware like consoles and stuff like that, but when it's a digital store, it just needs to be accessed. Just open it up so
Yeah,
you could gift someone in Europe or someone in the US, someone in freaking Asia. It wouldn't matter. You could
yeah,
gift them the fucking thing because they're a friend. You want to play the game with them, and they don't have it, but you can do it. You could afford that game to give it to them.
yeah.
Sorry, Yanks, we're keeping you
no,
up.
no, you're good.
Well, so
But yeah,
sorry.
no,
Yeah,
Xbox just needs to pull their finger out, be more aware of what's going on in the market, and do something about it. Because I love Xbox, I really do. I've been a major supporter of them for many, many years, but it shits me. It shits me that they
Yeah,
just don't care.
that's been the one gripe I've had with Xbox for ever is just the store.
Yeah. That's why I never buy AAA titles off the store. I never. I'll always buy them physically if I really have to, or just wait for it to come out on Game Pass. Either one.
Yeah, Game Pass.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, like if they went a digital store, it'd also allow them to, look at Horizon 5 now. Like anybody who's waiting for it in store to come out on the day is kind of getting left behind because anybody who's on the console can actually pre-install it. So the second it goes live, bang, it updates, you can play the game. Well, they've
yeah,
got to go and get their disc, install their disc, do the update. Having a digital store allows you to pre-install and have it all up to date. So when it launches, you're straight out there.
yeah,
I think like
I just
in
think,
the future, they need to start letting go of the past, as
yeah,
user friendly as it may be, like discs wise and all that, is user friendly as it may be. They need to start leaving that behind and moving towards a digital only future. I mean,
digital world,
yeah.
yeah,
the Series S, right? Completely
digital
digital.
console,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's been snapped up like no tomorrow. Like everyone loves
Yeah.
that console because it's small, it's digital only. It's just
Yep.
it's a new world
Yeah.
which fits into this world.
But did they have
So
the didn't they have one of the ones? One of the what was it, the 1S they did digital version or the 1X they did a digital version of it. And it sold like fucking fire.
neither.
Yeah, they did. It was the
Or it
one
would have
it
been the
was a
1S.
1S digital.
The 1S would have been
But
digital.
it
Yeah,
sold like fire. It just
yeah, but
they couldn't
it's
keep it on the
good
shelf.
for kids though. I mean, you've got
Exactly.
this
There's no
really,
discs.
especially the Series S. It's just this tiny, tiny little console that's just completely digital. There's no discs. There's no,
Mhm.
There's no chance
snap
of
a disc.
scratching the discs or losing it, breaking it. It's
It's
just
just
sign
it's
in and play.
ideal.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
simple.
If honestly, if the Series X was fully digital, I would have been completely stoked with it.
Oh, absolutely.
As long as the Xbox store was reasonable and pricey.
Yeah, and that ain't
If
gonna
they
happen.
get that right, I will embrace said digital world with open arms.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, PCs, right? Tell me someone who's built a PC with a disk drive in it.
I haven't installed one in fuck, I want to say 6 years.
That's
Yeah.
my point. But no one does it any. It was like floppy drives,
But I mean, like,
some PCs would come with floppy drives. You're like, why is that there? I don't. I'm
but if you need a drive, you can get an external disk drive.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like
what I
the
did.
same price as an internal.
I have an external Blu-ray drive.
Exactly.
So if I ever really needed to use a disc, I would use that.
There, exactly.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's I don't understand. I think there's got to be some sort of standardization across the store, and they've
Yeah.
got to unlock all the regions. They've just got to make it just Xbox Store worldwide. It's just there. It is.
Universal pricing across all regions.
Yeah,
That
I think it's just
that
got to
has to
be.
happen.
It's just got to be the case. If they're going to go
I mean,
forward, they're going to be a powerhouse, which they already
I
are. But if they want to
yeah.
be like
It,
stabilized a lot
honestly,
more,
that
they have to do
I
it.
think that would be the biggest step they could do to the gaming front. If they
Oh, absolutely.
universalize the pricing and just went, whatever it converted to your region, that's what you pay. You
Yeah,
don't pay
exactly.
extra. That's it. That's the price that you pay.
How long
That
do
would
we?
be huge.
If we saw that happen, how long do you think before someone like EB Games, GameStop, and all those would be kind of out of business or having to find a new business?
But I think that's why. But it doesn't explain, because this JB Hi-Fi down the road, I could buy a game for $70,
Yeah,
but
but
I
let's
could
say they
buy
went
an
full digital,
EB for $100.
but they wiped out
This
all discs. They went digital. How long before something like that, like JB and EB Games, had to start looking at shit? We can't sell games anymore. What do we have to focus on now to make money?
digital codes, digital codes for games.
Mm.
Like so, places like JB Hi-Fi, they'd still be able to do it. Just have digital codes for games. Like so,
What other
you're
options of
paying
That could
for the
work.
game. It's just a digital code.
what are the states got? Yikes!
EB Games,
Aside from
I couldn't give a shit if EB Games burnt down to the ground.
no,
They
no, no.
are overpriced and have been overpriced for many, many years.
What's other options besides GameStop have you got over there that sell games?
I
Yikes.
mean, outside of GameStop, I mean, a lot of people go to like your Targets, your WalMarts,
Right.
those sorts of places. And then
So it's not
there's
like it's a
also a
big business
few.
play.
There's also like a lot of like smaller game shops, like locally owned game shops that not only sell like video games, but they sell a lot of like retro stuff. You'll find those like scattered out in like different towns.
Yeah. So
But
you wouldn't. So a lot of your stuff, like if GameStop sort of disappeared, it wouldn't really hurt the industry too much because they've got
yeah, most people
other
would just go to
products to
like
sell.
your Walmart, your Target, and
Yeah.
get the games there.
Like like let's take EB Games for example, right? They don't just sell games. They sell hardware. Like
Yeah.
a stupid amount of hardware, might I
Yeah,
add. They've got
GameStop's the same way. They
keyboards,
sell.
mouse, they got vinyl pops, they got a whole swag of Elgato products. They've got fucking merch. Like
Yeah,
they
but
got
what I'm
heaps of
saying is,
stuff.
if you take the discs out of the store, you basically eliminate 75% of their stock. What
It's
then
still
do
a
they have to
gaming
focus
store.
on? Yeah, but what do they sell?
Games.
But how when it's
It's
on a
still
digital
selling
world?
games. It's just
No one's going to go to the store just to get a code when they can sit at home and go click and it's done. Like that's what I'm
I don't know.
saying. Like how would they then?
But
Like,
it's like
would
gift
we
card.
see the end of
Yeah,
their?
why would you go into a store to buy a gift card when you can just buy the gift card online? Yeah, it's
Exactly.
the same shit. It's just that option there.
Would we see the end of EB Games / GameStop if
I think
Microsoft went a full digital version?
if it was possible, like if I was in charge of GameStop, right? I would know, like, obviously, like the digital age is upon us. Like physical media is going to get phased out. I would
Yeah.
like try to repurpose the stores as places where people can come in and try out games. Have games on display like we used to have back in the day.
Like we used to have,
Yeah,
yeah.
where you can go into
Could
the
we-
store and say, "Hey, I want to try out this new game. I want to get some information on this game before I actually commit and purchase it." And then it's like, "Hey, here's the code. You can buy it while you're here."
But have we potentially touched on this earlier on in the show? We'll talk about those repairers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could do repair work at
If you lost your,
GameStop as well.
if you lost your discs and your physical copies of the games, you wouldn't be selling as much out of the stores because you're not going to sell 50, 60, 80 consoles a day.
Yeah,
So you'd then have to maybe look to those guys to be your repair agents. You take your controller in, they'd fix it on the spot, back out the door.
yeah,
Yeah. I think
Are we
there's
potentially seeing a change in guard here? Like, you know,
I think there's a monopolizing market when it comes to disc sales.
oh yeah, 100%.
Because it's fully controlled by the seller. I mean, you look at EB Games, like they're obviously charging an arm and a leg for games, and then if you say trade that game in, they'll give you bugger all for it, and then up the price 500%
Yeah,
to make another profit.
yeah,
I don't see. I like you were saying before, like why go to them when you can go to JB? Because I like to go to EB and make them price match just to screw them down on their price and
Oh,
embarrass
even
them in
though
front of
they'll
their
crack the shits
customers.
and be like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, they
we'll
crack.
do it, but we don't like doing it."
It don't matter. It's your company policy. You have to.
Yeah, it was like when EB Games told me that they were a small gaming company. Like,
No, they're not.
come on,
No, they're not.
get
They're
over
fucking
yourself.
huge.
Yeah, you're not.
But yeah.
Mind you, you've got your own bloody expo down in Sydney. Let's just point that one out. Um, anyway,
Yeah,
moving on from
moving
that
on.
because we could probably talk about that for
yeah.
hours. Xbox had their October update this week, I believe it was, which gave the Series X finally a 4K dashboard. The previous dashboard was upscaled from 1080p to 4K, so it wasn't quite as crisp. Uh, I've definitely noticed a difference from what I have seen. So I welcome it with open arms. The update also included a night mode, which allowed you to dim the brightness of the Xbox logo on your controller. So essentially, you can just dim it to the point where it's basically off if need be. It also gives you the control to dim your screen. So if your screen is too bright, you can dim your screen to a level that sort of, I guess, suits your visual need, and to use it that way. Uh, they also added a mute speaker audio when headset is attached feature, which apparently has been long requested. So what used to happen was that you'd attach your headset into your controller and you would hear double audio. So you would hear audio coming out of either your TV and your headset. So you can set it to as soon as you plug your headset in, TV mutes, you can only hear it through your headset. That's just one of those quality of life things that really should have happened uh, quite some time ago. Nvidia has launched its cloud gaming service GeForce Now in Australia. Finally, I don't know how many people are going to adopt that though. You can now stream games at 1440p and 120 FPS, not at the same time. Just keep that in mind. That's a separate and 140p. Sorry, 1440p and 120 FPS via the new RTX 3080 tier, which goes for $100 US for 6 months. That's that's expensive. That's an expensive subscription.
Yeah.
Um, Nvidia is also looking into doing 4K 60 HDR content that will use the H.265 encoding method uh, with a 40 megabits per second connection. Hot damn, that is that's a lot of bandwidth.
Oh
Just
yes.
in general, that's a lot of bandwidth. I the the H.265 encoding, it's top tier stuff. Honestly, I think it should be used like everywhere. It should be an absolute standard. Um, I like what are they going to use? Obviously, they would have to use like an RTX 3090 Ti in order to produce 4K 60 HDR content. Um, but I don't like it. that shit's just way too expensive, and I'm sure out of everyone's price range and internet bandwidth.
It'll have to be reconsidered for sure.
Mm. A YouTuber, Electo has, I may have that wrong, has made a fully operational Minecraft pig called Hamburgini,
Yes, I
which
did
hits
see that.
a top speed of 20 miles per hour. That pretty good bloody. It's actually a scale replica of a Minecraft pig, which is controlled by a carrot on a stick. My ad. So that's pretty cool. With the Windows 11 release, we saw some AMD CPU performance issues due to the cache latency. It was slower by six times compared to Windows 10. That's pretty damn slow. Realistically, 6 times slower. But thankfully, Microsoft were all over it and have fixed said issue. So that is all good and up and running. I still don't know whether you can use the Xbox app, Kaza. That still may be broken. Microsoft also revealed it was able to mitigate a 2.4 terabit per second DDoS attack, targeting one of its customers using the firm's Azure cloud computing service. In doing so, the tech giant successfully fended off what is one of the largest DDoS attacks ever recorded. It was 3 attacks, and it did peak out at 2.4 terabits per second. Only lasted for about 10 seconds, I believe it was. That is mad stuff.
It's a monster attack, but again, it just shows the strength that they've got behind it to go, ha,
Yeah.
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
back with a bigger one. Try again.
But it was the fact that Microsoft was able to pick up on it
Negate
and
it.
completely shut it down.
Yeah.
Like very quickly. So that's good. Something Microsoft is doing right. Not you, Windows 11. China China is in the news again. China has banned anyone under the age of 16 from streaming on any platform in the country. As part of their 10-year plan to combat gaming addiction and improve guidelines on children's developmental needs, China has now banned minors under age 16 from streaming and even cracked down on those over the age of 16 by limiting the amount of time and money viewers can spend on their streams. Wouldn't want to be in China.
No.
That jizz is going mental right now.
True.
But apparently, the biggest concern is esports in China because a lot of the esports teams are
I'm
younger children.
I'm also certain that Tencent's about to pop back up in the news again. Because that's their
Probably.
entire fucking market, pretty much.
Yeah. Teenagers and young can only use social media for 40 minutes a day. Basically, China is just going to slowly ban the internet.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's it. That's all I have. Amazingly enough,
Wow.
that was 7 pages of stuff.
And we got through it all.
Yeah, they did ban crypto. That is true. But yeah, no, that's it. Unless there's anything else that you guys want to
Yates, have you got any
bring
events,
up?
present or past,
Yes,
coming?
the
Any
events.
Not
forgot
on my
about the
radar
event.
right now. I know we had an event on Glimesh this past weekend. Cemetery Gate was raising money for Mission 22. I still have no idea how that actually went, but I know he did a 24-hour charity stream, and I was in there. I lurked a little bit, and yeah, it looked like it was a good time. So,
Guys, if you haven't
No.
checked out Cemetery Gate, please do so. He does do a lot of charity work here on the platform.
Yep.
Definitely drop in and lurk his channel, hang out, drop $1, drop 10, drop 100, whatever. just chill and support the Mission 22 statement that he's supporting there. It's
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, it's for veterans with
Uh,
PTSD. Am I right?
yes, it's so the whole point of the Mission 22 organization is that statistically a veteran commits suicide or like every 22 minutes or something like that. I forget what the actual like number is, but
Yeah.
it's to raise awareness for mental health services and supporting the veterans. So
Right. So yeah, if
it's
you
it's a
guys
great organization. So
do see him about, please definitely drop him some hype. Let me just grab his channel.
If you guys do have any events that you know of or are participating in the future, be sure to do let us know in the Discord, so we can cover it.
absolutely.
So yeah, there's Cemetery Gates channel in the Discord. If you have in the actual chat, sorry. If you haven't followed him yet, please click on that link. Go and give him a follow. Check him out when he is doing those charity streams. It is an awesome thing to actually get behind and support. Again, Yakes, anything else, buddy? Anything
Nothing,
coming up? Nothing
nothing
coming up?
else.
Well,
Nothing at the moment.
unfortunately, we are going to have to start to wind things up. We
There
have
is
gone
something,
overtime.
Yakes.
Oh
We
yeah.
have gone overtime.
So
There is
just
something,
to
Yakes.
acknowledge-
okay. So right when Side Note wraps up, you'll be able to go to Speed Demon's channel, and he will be live streaming My Friend Peppa Pig. So
That I will.
Peppa Pig
Yeah.
stream over on Speed Demon.
For anyone in YouTube land, I'm sorry you've missed it,
You missed
but
it.
I'm sure
Sorry.
it was great.
Oh no, don't worry, you haven't missed it yet, YouTube, because the video's going up really quickly. So if you get over the next hour,
no,
you'll still see him streaming it.
no one's going to get to the end of this and watch it in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to happen within the next like 20 minutes. So
We are going to wind it up
yeah.
here, guys,
Yeah.
with YouTube. So again, thank you, YouTube, again
Thank
for
you.
yet another
Thank you,
wonderful
everyone.
episode, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
YouTube,
Bye,
stay
YouTube.
safe.
Bye, YouTube.